I've kind of had this idea of, I don't know, anti-marketing, or like allowing the people who actually really want to find the stuff to find the stuff.
Local band Telurian have just dropped a single called Realign. To celebrate their release, they'll be playing a gig at King Street on the 26th of July. We caught up with Brentan and Lochie from Telurian to chat more about the song. So it's been a while since we last caught up. I'd love to know what's been happening for you guys.
We've kind of just been writing. We played a lot last year and we felt like we wanted to take a bit of a step back. Yeah. So we've only played a handful of shows, and we've been experimenting with some like different stuff at rehearsals. Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah. Well, I feel like last year you really, made your presence known by gigging so much. So it would be nice to kind of step back. What's the writing process been like?
It's been good. We've been getting Brentan to sing. Yeah, cool. Only very recently, but yeah, me and Liam have been meeting up and kind of just changing direction a lot, moving away from the ruts that we've been getting caught in, and trying to flesh it out a bit more melodically. Yeah. He's playing higher up the guitar, and yeah, it's just all getting fleshed out. But all the best parts of our old stuff are still there. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we love that. And what have you been drawing inspiration from lately for your music?
For me, I'm very much into the heaviest, nastiest stuff I can find. Mm-hmm. So, experimenting a lot with bands like Lorna Shore and Knock Loose, and just stuff that's quite visceral, and being able to get on that train vocally, and then figuring out what that looks like when you have dynamics in it with, playing around with a bit of singing and things like that, and how you can balance those things off each other without the singing feeling really forced like it can in some other stuff.
Mm. Yeah, I've been listening to more like death metal, black metal, things that are really, really fast, but fast for like the whole thing, and the way they structure the songs and the progressions and stuff. Kind of looking at a more dramatic vibe, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So I'd love to get a little bit more specific with this brand new single that's just been released called Realign. Can you tell me about the lyrical content within that?
I sure can. So the song is about, I guess, for me, little observations I've had looking at society that often our moral compass is quite governed by wealth, or how much money people have, or like the narrative that poor people are often, vilified for dole budget, that sort of narrative, or they're unworthy of it. And the other side of the coin of where you have people like a Musk or a Trump or whatever who do some pretty awful things, but people still venerate them, treat them as someone that should be emulated because they've been successful financially. Yeah. So it's kind of having that observation of we still act like you should. Our moral compass is based around treating each other well, but then if you dig a little bit deeper, how we actually treat people who are down and out, or people who aren't, great humans but are very wealthy, kind of uncovers a bit of a different narrative.
Yeah, totally.
Mm. Yeah, so well put.
Yeah. So you've been working heaps behind the scenes with this single. You just launched a website for Telurian. It was really, really fun. Where did that idea come from? Why did you want to do it?
I've kind of had this idea of, I don't know, anti-marketing, or like allowing the people who actually really want to find the stuff to find the stuff. Not necessarily asking for attention, but presenting it in a way that's like a little bit different. So I liked the idea of getting people off of the feeds, and the way that Brentan kind of set up the website is it really forces you to sit down and stop for a minute. Yep. And listen, and kind of like it really grabs you, a lot more than a catchy caption or whatever would. Yeah. And yeah, we like mystery, and we like games and that kind of thing. So we plan to do more of these kinds of things in the future. Clues and Easter eggs and that kind of thing. Yeah.
And we just really like the idea of being able to give back in some sense to our audience of like your normal pre-release campaign is kind of dry spamming pre-save and like
literally
it's
hard
to get engaged with that, and it's continually asking people to give something without giving them something in return. And a little bit of it was using the skills that I had. I'm not a video guy, but I can make websites, so we'll give this a crack and see how it goes. And like, it's a bit of gives them something to do. It might be a little bit fun. That sort of just something a bit different. Another way for people to engage and get something out of us that's not just go and save our thing or please listen to our music.
Yeah. Well, I remember, in my experience of working through your website, you do play a little game to get to the hidden content, and looking back on it now, I actually see it as like that moment that I took to play the game was almost like an extra bit of anticipation to actually get to the content. It was really interesting, and definitely did make me like stop and listen. It's really fun.
Well, thanks for doing it, because we didn't know what was going to happen when it went into the hands of people that hadn't done it, and I think it worked.
Yeah, it's definitely something we learned heaps from that, of like how obvious it has to be or not be, and like it's a muscle we're going to keep flexing and growing and getting people's feedback, and we'll figure it out and try and go on this journey together.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie, I don't really know how I got through the game, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the process.
Good.
So you have a gig coming up on the 26th of July at King Street Warehouse with Russian Novel and... what's the other band?
Fall from Heaven. Who are some new... It's a new band. They're kind of just jumping in the last 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
We've played with Russian Novel a bunch. There's not many progressive metal bands, and we're kind of all close enough, so we end up putting on shows together. And now it's just really enjoyable to play with those guys. It's really easy, and our fans cross over heaps. So this show was less of like a let's get a new audience and more of a let's give the audience that have been following us for the last year or so a nice, evening with the new single. Russian Novel's also dropped a single recently as well.
Yes, it's a bit of a double single launch in some ways.
Yeah.
And the Fall from Heaven guys have been around the newie heavy scene for ages. They're really, really supportive of everyone. They're at a lot of our shows. They promote a lot of our stuff, and they're just really good guys, and we want to see them kind of take off as well. And on top of that, they're friggin' awesome. So it's going to be a great time.
The music video for Realign kind of came about through Russian Novel, right? Because it was recorded at one of their shows. Is that right?
There was footage from a bunch of different shows, but the guy that did their videos, approached us and helped us out with this one. So there's definitely a lot of helping out one another in this very small scene that we have. Yeah,
totally. And before I let you go, I'd love to know about the actual recording process for this song. Did you do it with Mitta? Is that right?
We did,
Yes?
Tommy Rock. It started with this strange kind of drum beat, and I didn't really know what was going on. And then we realized that it was just like 16th notes with the kick drum that were all off. They were all on the off beat, which is like super unconventional. And that kind of got the name rolling as like Realign. And so it would be these sections where it was sort of like not even on the beat, and then it would resolve. And so then that gave the concept to Brentan to start going, and then it sort of arrived as this thing that kind of makes you feel like you want to resolve, but it doesn't quite get there. So we recorded that at home and then demoed it all out, and then went to Mitta. I think we did it January to February. Half day each.
Scored some sick TNs.
Yeah. Fake TNs.
Fake TNs from around the corner. There's a cool TN if you're in the
Front
market
runner.
for TNs. Front runner. Very legit.
Yeah. But Mitta's awesome.
We just really love working with Mitta. He's just someone that you can bounce off, and he just gets really into the music, and the work he does is just phenomenal. For me, I can get in there and have my vocal parts, and he'll often be able to push me and get the best bits out, or I'll have some ideas for different layers and things like that, and then he'll have other ones, and we'll be able to bounce off each other and try different things out, and kind of get all the options down on the table, and then he can take that and mix it through and put his magic through it and come out with the version that sounds best.
Amazing. All right, well, congratulations on this new single. It sounds awesome, and I can't wait to celebrate it on the 26th of July at Kingers.
Awesome. Thanks, Bonnie.
Thank you so much.